All right, everybody, welcome to the first episode, the first stream ever for 20 to Midnight, the show where three D&D characters have to race against the clock if they want to save the world. Just in case anyone has stumbled in here without knowing who we are, why don't we do a quick round of introductions?
Great. I'll start. I'm Beth Eyre. Some of you might know me from Wooden Overcoats or from some other podcasts. I am brand new to D&D, so we're going to see how that goes. But my teammates are very helpful and patient, so it should be all right. And I'm going to be playing a character called Helena Hailstrom.
Hi everyone, I'm Emma Sherr-Ziarko. You might know me from such shows as Wolf 359 and other podcasts as well. And I am going to be playing Calistoga Vance, aka Cal, who is a tiefling sorcerer.
And hello, my name is Mike Schubert. You might know me from Potterless or The Newest Olympian or some other shows that I've made. I will be playing Satus in Curtum, who is a human bard, and I am very excited, especially as I come to you live from my friend's garden. Optimized for sound quality,
Yeah.
but definitely legitimately optimized for vibes. So I think it's going to be great. I think I can't roll anything less than a 20, right? In this setting, it's impossible.
Optimized for life quality.
It's going to be really fun, especially these first few sessions playing the Where in the World is Mike Schubert game.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, for everyone wanting to guess now, unless you're really, really good at GeoGuessr, I'm in Oakland, California.
Awesome. And for anybody that does not know me, hello, my name is Gabriel Urbina. I am a writer and a director, mostly working in podcasts. I created Wolf 359, in which I got to work with Emma, and I worked on a couple of other shows, including 0 Hours and Unseen and Time Bombs and a couple of other things, and I've gotten to work with all of these fine folks. And now I'm very excited to be playing a very silly game of improvisation with the aid of dice and high fantasy tropes with these folks. Just a couple of quick housekeeping things before we jump into the improvising with the dice and the dungeons and the dragons and all of the things. Number one, welcome to Twitch. We're seeing in the chat that there are a couple of you that are first timers at Twitch. Most of us are first timers at Twitch. This is a new medium for most of us. So
I am a Twitch veteran, I will say.
This leads me nicely into if there are any video or sound quality problems, Emma is the one that you should direct them to, as she is the veteran. The grizzled expert in all things Twitch and audio quality. No, all of which goes to say that we think that we've gotten this as good as we can get it right now. It will probably be a steadily rising curve as our knowledge of Twitch and streaming goes up. But please, if at any point something big comes up, like you can't see us or you can't hear us or things are just sounding absolutely garbled, please freak out in the chat and just let us know as loudly as we can. We're going to try to not be looking at the chat too much. We're going to be trying to sort of focus on playing the game of D&D. But we highly, highly, highly encourage you all to be on the chat, to be making noise, to be ridiculing all of the PC's terrible choices and my terrible decisions as DM, also very, very open to ridicule. But if there are any real technical problems, please let us know and we'll do our best to course correct either midstream or in our next session. And right now, I want to just chat, show us some love for this awesome overlay by our in-house artist, Mikaela Buckley, who did this amazing overlay and who did the amazing character art that you can see a little bit of next to these guys' names. Truly, truly one of the great talents, and we're so lucky to get to work with her.
She's amazing. We love Mikaela.
Awesome. Guys, any other pre-show announcements or just pre-show things before we get underway?
I will just say that the setup that I have here is very fun and interesting. And I will be posting a photo of the full rig on the Patreon, which we will talk about at the end of the stream, especially when we thank the folks who supported our Patreon before anything has gone live. So shout out to you all. When we finish the stream, we will give you a proper sign off and thank you. And we will also talk about the Patreon, which is now like fully fleshed out, where we've got different tiers and rewards and actual like things depending on what level you support. But some of the things that will be included are extra goodies, like how I made this look possible using things from a garage.
Yes.
So you have to follow us on Patreon in order to get the Mike MacGyver series.
Yeah.
For the insight into my brain. Support us on Patreon.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely.
Also, just to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing today, the plan is to stream for about 3-ish hours. We're trying to kind of do from about 2 p.m. Eastern, which was 7 minutes ago, to about 5 p.m. Eastern. Somewhere in the first half of that second hour, we will be taking a 5-minute bathroom break. And possibly a 5-minute sanity break, depending on how quickly things go off the rails. But just so kind of everyone knows, like, we are setting out for about a 3-hour program today with an intermission, and that way you can sort of plan accordingly. If you can't stay for all of this, never fear. This video will be up on our YouTube page pretty shortly thereafter. I want to say in the next 36 hours, if not sooner. And it will also live here on Twitch for a little bit of time. I think it'll be here for about a week, I want to say.
I think so.
Yeah.
Until we get affiliate status, I think it's only a week now.
Yes.
Which hopefully we'll get there soon.
We should get there soon, as long as people watch and follow and click like and tell all their friends and all that kind of stuff.
Tell your friends.
But also, the plan schedule-wise is that we'll be posting episodes, or we'll be doing streams like this every other week, but also maybe doing some fun stuff in between, either about the campaign or just kind of like us using it as like a little gaming channel for any/all of the 4 of us, whether we're doing stuff together or it's just like, Emma has Twitch streamed in the past, and I like to sometimes play against the computer in Dominion as a lunch break, so you can watch me, stomp up on Lord Raddington on the reg. So subscribe, because it'll be fun. It's not just this stuff, but also some sporadic things in between to fill any sort of need.
Scheduled D&D games and unscheduled mayhem is the guarantee here on the 22 midnight.
That's a great tagline.
Wait, somebody write that
down.
Someone
write that down.
Yeah.
I'll message it in our WhatsApp so we don't forget.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mike.
Amazing. All right.
Thank you, all of you who made Twitch accounts just to watch us. That's amazing. Thank you.
Yes, we feel the love. We also feel the pressure. We're very, very excited to see how this goes. We've been sort of loosely planning this for a little while now, but this will now kind of be the first time that we are actually embarking on this adventure with these characters. So, what do you guys say? You want to get started? Shall we do it?
Yes, please.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Well, here we go. The first episode of our first campaign, the Cavalier Chronicles, starts right now. It's a fall day in the Commonwealth of the Blackcrown. The leaves are just beginning to turn brown in this wilderness vista that our imaginary camera is sort of panning through. We are following this dirt road that goes under and over and through a couple of hills before we finally arrive at this cart that is being drawn by 2 horses. There is a dwarven man at the reins who is driving this cart. But right now we don't care about him. We care about the other 3 people that are in or around, perhaps walking next to this cart, because they are the 3 people that have been hired to make sure that this cart gets safely from the city of Dawn's Point, where you left 3 days ago, to the city of Coldriver, which you are now maybe another 4 hours away from. So let's just quickly go through and tell me a little bit about what would the viewers of this imaginary TV show be seeing? What do your characters look like, and what are they doing as they escort this cart through the wilderness of the Blackcrown? Let's start with you, Beth.
So, walking, or rather striding, by the side of the cart is Helena Hailstorm. She's tall, quite striking figure, angular features, and long dark hair which she wears in a braid. She is sort of marching along by the cart. She's quite happy to be there, quite proud, looking around, easily distracted by a bird, a bit of nature, something like that. She's wearing leather armour in sort of dark colours, greens, greys, browns. She has a big, dark forest green cloak, massive boots, and an enormous sword. And she's having a good day, so far.
Beautiful. The camera sort of moves past Helena and then arrives at the second occupant of the cart. Emma, what does the camera see as we find Cal?
So the camera finds a small tiefling woman named Cal, or Calistoga Vance. Her friends call her Cal. And she is very small, about, for a tiefling, about 5 feet tall, short, bright red hair, purple skin, light purple skin, and solid emerald eyes. She's sitting in the back of the cart, I think, looking out the back as she watches the road that they've been traveling. And she's dressed also in a green cloak. And if you look carefully, sort of tucked beneath the bottom of her cloak is a tail.
Mm-hmm.
And also she's got kind of these cool ram horns that kind of whoosh back over her head. And she's not wearing a cloak right now. So, or the hood of her cloak, you know.
Excellent.
And yeah, I think Cal is also having a good day, but is always a little trepidatious when going to a new place.
Wonderful. The camera pans past Cal and towards the last person that is on this little expedition. Mike, what do we see as we arrive at your character?
So we see a tall, lanky boy with, like hair. I liked the technical term M used of whooshed back. So he has hair whooshed back behind his head. He's got, olive skin, a nice full beard, vaguely looks like, this guy almost looks like he's from another time. Like, oh, this guy could be from like Rome or from Athens, like very old school vibe, down to his garb and his armor and his leather sandals of sorts. He is carrying a set of bagpipes, which is a bit strange. And he has some other weapons, but you can tell they are incredibly lightly used, as opposed to a book he has in hand that is incredibly worn, and you can see all the creases on the inside of the book to kind of set this tone. He's kind of got the vibe of your professor that has a lot of office hours but calls them drop-in hours so that they sound less daunting and you actually go to them to ask about the homework and stuff. He's in very good spirits because the two folks he's with have, over the course of the past couple of days or so, become friends of his, which is not something he had in the past, and he has people that he feels more comfortable with, so he's in very good spirits as they are on this journey.
Awesome, and that actually brings me to the next thing that I wanted to ask you guys. In the fiction of the show, we are starting our story at a point where Helena, Cal, and Satus have been adventuring for a short time together. They've kind of met, they were soldiers of fortune, they're all trying to earn their living in the world, and they've kind of ended up working together in a couple of odd jobs. What would you say is the 200 words or less summary of what the other two now know about your character? And I think something that we should say out loud is, what class are each of you playing? So maybe starting again with you, Beth, sort of what, if anything, would these people know about who Helena is? And what kind of D&D character are you playing?
So Cal and Satus know that Helena's a fighter. She is a champion from Veldria, they know that. And they know that she is from the famous Hailstorm family. And that she is in need of money, sharpish. Partly because her family's home is falling into ruin, and there's a lot she wants to do about that, and partly and more urgently because her beloved is going to be married off to somebody else if she can't provide a dowry very quickly. Other than that, I think they may have picked up a few things about her personality. But she's quite handy with a sword, not so handy in other ways.
Excellent.
That is about right.
Very good. Emma, what about Cal? What would folks have picked up about her?
So I think at this point, Satus and Helena know that Cal has a fiery temper a little bit, but also is a big softie, secretly. And she is a sorcerer, so she uses magic. She's very easy to hurt and kill, potentially, but...
Don't tell our enemies.
No, just you two.
Okay.
That her magic is pretty strong, but they also might know at this point that Cal doesn't have the best control over it yet, and I think Cal and Satus know this. I'm not sure if Mike and Beth do yet, but now you're going to, that Cal needs money in order to matriculate at the Magic University in the Blackcrown.
Oh, MU.
Yeah, MU. Yeah. There is a name for it, which I totally remember right now. Hang on, folks. I'll get back to you in just a moment with that name. But for now, we're calling it MU.
It's called the Telrin Citadel, although many folks just call it the Citadel.
The Telrin Citadel, a.k.a. the Citadel. And I think Cal hasn't shared a whole lot about her past, but Satus and Helena would know that she was born on the island of Amar, but is from Bas Saranath, and she was adopted and considers her two fathers her real family.
Lovely. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, so Satus, as far as the D&D of it all, is a human bard. The human angle of it means that for really nuts and bolts, he gets +1 to everything. So he's like, just for rolls, he doesn't get a lot of like special cool, like neat trick stuff. But that does make him like pretty adept at various things. Helena and Cal know that he's definitely better with words than he is with arms. He is all about performance, and he's very charismatic, and he's very knowledgeable in history, and he's got a bit of a silver tongue in terms of if he needs to kind of, persuade someone, deceive someone, he can do that, though it's not necessarily the first thing he springs to, but if they're in a pinch, that'll happen. As far as just knowing things about his personality, he is from Kelmoltron, which is a very like industrial, like rough and tumble, like we crunch geodes, manufacturing kind of place, and that is not his vibe at all. It never has been. It never will be. He didn't have a lot of people who saw eye to eye with him growing up because he was all into history and sharing stories and playing music and the performing arts, and that is just not what exists in his hometown. So his whole goal of going out and trying to raise money is he wants to start a school so that people like him, where he grew up, can feel like comfort, find other like-minded folks. So yeah, that's his vibe. Definitely getting there in the terms of the magic. And in a pinch, he can try stuff with strength, but let's just say it's not his strong suit.
Awesome. And that,
Gabriel,
folks, are our 3 D&D protagonists for this adventure.
Awesome. Did the message get passed along that you sounded a little low, Gabriel?
I have, and I've boosted myself up, and I've lowered the music down a little bit, so hopefully that should be a little bit better. But yes, I'm sort of keeping half an eye on the chat for the technical requests whenever I can. So please do keep putting them on there, even if we can't immediately snap to them as soon as we can. Awesome. Okay, I do want to... So great. So this is where we all are. This is sort of where we have everyone. I do want to turn our attention back to this dwarf that is driving this cart that you have been hired to take to the town of Coldriver. You are all the security detail. You need to make sure that the cart gets there in one piece. He is actually in charge of getting the cart physically from Dawn's Point to Coldriver. You've learned that his name is Eldon. And the first thing that struck you about Eldon is that there is something about his physical features, some physical attribute that he has that is very memorable and very noticeable. Beth, what is that physical attribute? What is the thing that immediately grabbed your attention about Eldon, the dwarf cart driver?
Almost mane of blue hair.
Lovely, of course. I'm just taking a note here.
It's pretty elegant.
Of course, that is not the only thing that is interesting about this man, because once you sort of got to talking to him a little bit, you also notice that there is an unusual thing hanging on a chain around his neck. Emma, what does this man have on this chain around his neck?
Ooh, on this chain around his neck, he has a medallion of a tiger.
Ooh, great.
Yeah.
Lovely. And then, Mike, you kind of have been riding the roads with this man for little over 3 days now. How have you three been getting along with him? Has it been gregarious and lots of funny stories? Has he been sort of steely-eyed, focus on the road, not really talking a lot? Sort of, what has the vibe been around this dwarven cart rider?
I think it's been good vibes. I think that I think it started where he was like a little more curmudgeonly and like didn't want to talk and was like, I just want to focus on the task at hand. But I think like talkative boy that Satus is, like I think slowly but surely he's kind of melted his crusty exterior and now he kind of is warming up to the three of us a bit more. So I think it like kind of started as awkward, but now I think we're enjoying the ride for the four of us.
Awesome. Great. Speaking of said ride, for the most part, over the past 3 days, it's been, let's be frank, goddamn boring. You've mostly just been riding this dirt road next to some rivers, some woodlands. It's been extremely chill. But something interesting started to happen a few leagues ago, which is that you started to cross around these... Basically, on either side of the road, you started to see these ancient ruins. And at first, it was just kind of here or there, just a pillar over here that you drove past, the remains of some ancient building over here. But you're now arriving at a point where this road seems to be going through what used to be perhaps an ancient outpost of some sort, maybe even a small town. But all that's left sort of around it is now these very, very old crumbling stone buildings. Let's break those dice. Let's see if anybody knows what the heck this is about. Could I have history checks from everyone, please?
Break the dice, but we just started.
Break in the dice. Excuse me.
It's like breaking the ice, but breaking the dice.
Oh,
that's right.
Okay. Damn it. That's actually really good. Okay, let's see. Okay, so history. I got a 17 plus 7 for a 24.
I got a 4 plus 2 for a 6.
And
11
Beth?
plus 2. 11 plus 2 for 13.
All right, so going in order.
Also, real quick, I don't know if we said this anywhere, but we're all level 3. If anyone,
no, we haven't said that.
If that contextualizes for anyone who knows D&D, that's why like some of the stats are there. Also, if you have no idea what's going on with D&D, we're like pretty new, but not so new where like if level 1, like if an acorn hit me, I was like, oh guys, oh no, I might need a health potion.
Yeah.
And we did those in the pre-stream
That's pretty much
thing.
still where Cal is if she hasn't anticipated the acorn hitting her. But yes, and also we are doing a few things like a little homebrewed. So like if you're super by the rules kind of person, just relax a little bit.
Yeah, our blanket policy is if at any point you notice us doing something and your brain goes, wait a minute, that's not how D&D goes, a wizard did it. Just a wizard rolled through town and magically changed some stuff. Don't worry about it. It's that dang wizard.
Right. But we're definitely not cheating, as you can tell in our in our pre-stream games, where I think we averaged 1 death per game.
More thereabouts. But all right.
Yeah.
Let's stay on target.
Okay.
We have a lot to do today. We've barely gotten even on the road towards the objective. Let's go in order here. Cal is not completely sold that these ruins are actually made out of stone. She's like, I don't know, I don't buy it. This seems suspect to me.
Knocking on the stones. Think it's wood.
Yeah.
Think it's wood.
Helena, you know a little bit about what this is. It is sort of widely known that thousands of years ago, sort of the entire continent of Kelderin, which is where this adventure is taking place, which is where all the nations that your characters are from are all in this giant landmass called Kelderin. It's widely known that thousands and thousands of years ago, a magic-driven kingdom called Aldoran owned the entire continent. And they were extremely powerful, and they were extremely adept in magic. And nobody quite knows what happened to them. There's just kind of a lot of evidence that they were here, and now that they're not. But these sorts of Aldoran ruins are found all over Kelderin in odd places. And they're sort of something that a lot of folks have a lot of superstitions about, but most of the time, they're just kind of something that you drive past as you're going places, and you kind of go, oh, the Aldoran kingdom had something here a long time ago. Cool.
Something Helena knows vaguely. It is vaguely.
Yeah, like, you know, sort of like over the course of your time on Kelderin, you've picked up the bits and pieces of that. Mike, you know quite a bit more than that with your absolutely stellar role. You know absolutely everything that Helena does. On top of that, you also know that basically everything that we know about magic nowadays is the bits and pieces that archaeologists have been able to decipher from old Aldoran ruins. And furthermore, you also know that basically 90% of the magic items that we have today are not made contemporaneously, but they're actually things that people have gone into Aldoran ruins and kind of discovered in sort of these like old crumbling structures, because they knew how to make a sword that had the power of flame imbued in it. That is something that blacksmiths even today are still like, ooh, we think that fire was involved, but honestly, we couldn't even tell you that for absolute certain. And the last thing that you would know is that Coldriver, this city that you are going towards, is famous for being an area around which there is a very big concentration of Aldoran ruins. Like there is a lot of them in this area. So it makes sense that you would be driving past them and seeing some of these.
Taking all notes of this, since I clearly don't have a desk here to write on a notebook.
Yeah. You could just use a tree. Just carve it in.
Coldriver, lots of ruins.
I think Cal is looking around going, I don't think these are real.
This looks fake. Yeah. This looks fake to me.
Yeah, this looks fake to me.
Satus goes, oh, sure enough, they are real. We can chat later, but let's move on.
Okay.
And as the cart keeps rolling past some of these big pillars that are on the side of the road, a few meters ahead of the cart, you actually see a figure step out from behind one of the ruins. And he sort of, you know, like takes a cap off of his head and waves at you guys. It is sort of a tall, skinny, elven man who you can see has an eye patch. And he's sort of, you know, like flagging you down and going, hello, please, afternoon, folks.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Can we help you?
How has the road been treating you? Fair time on the road?
Oh, it's been just lovely. We've had a really great time. We're all getting to know each other better, you know. I've had a great time.
He flashes you this big, lovely, twinkling smile and goes, I'm so glad to hear that. That's wonderful. Cal, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, yeah, it's been good.
Well, it's about to get a lot better, folks. It's your lucky day today. This is the day when you get the story that you're going to be dining out on for the next 10 years. The story of how you had all your property stolen by Deadeye Baron, the most dangerous outlaw in the northern Blackcrown.
Well, first question, did you give yourself that nickname? It sounds like you gave yourself that nickname.
He sort of like momentarily drops the smile and stares at you and just points at his eye patch and then points the finger back down, and then it's, like big smiles again. And he's like, surely you've heard of the legendary brigand and swashbuckler Deadeye Baron.
No, can't say
roll me a history check to see if you actually have heard about this person.
Oh, all right.
Oh, no, I got a nat 20.
Oh!
I wanted to get a 0 going. I don't know who you are.
Yeah. Yay!
Yay, my first nat 20 is meaningless.
That was quick.
Is to see if you knew the history of Deadeye Baron. Okay, Emma and Beth, I'm so sorry. What did you guys get?
I got a total of 11.
Wonderful.
And 10 plus 2, 12.
Yeah, you've never heard of this doofus.
Yeah.
Mike, you have heard about him. He is like what you vaguely remember, even with a nat 20, you've vaguely heard stuff about this guy. Like, you vaguely remember something about him being some sort of Solanese prince in exile who became a pirate and then sort of got his ass kicked when he was swashbuckling the southern seas, and so now he moved up towards the northern territories, where he's been waylaying some folks on the road. So you've definitely heard about him. He is somewhat notorious, but he's not world famous by any means.
Okay.
Yeah.
Despite knowing all this, I go, never heard of you.
Well, I'm sure that once you get back to wherever you came from and tell them that Deadeye Baron took your possessions, they'll be able to fill you in. Yeah, let's please just do this orderly. If you could momentarily step off the wagon, I will unload it, and then you guys can just get back on the wagon and turn back around. If your employers would ask about it, I'm very happy to give you some surface wounds so that it seems like you did your job properly. But we can be absolutely very genteel and gentlemanly about this.
We really appreciate your politeness. It's refreshing, but we're not going to let you take our stuff.
Please, miss, let's not be hasty with any decisions. We wouldn't want the politeness to give way to more crude tactics of negotiation. And he'll, give a sharp whistle, and 5 thugs will step out from behind another column and all sort of, look at you with these vaguely threatening faces.
I would like to look at Deadeye Baron and say, I've been called a lot of things in my time, but a gentleman is not one of them. And yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
And then just full stop. Before we proceed, can I have you all do a quick investigation check for me, please?
I got a natural 20!
Beth and Mike, how do you guys do?
It's nice because I got a natural 1.
Ice. And then I got somewhere in the middle. I got a 7 plus 4 for an 11. Look at us go.
Cool. Do we have a sound effect for 11? No.
Let's
Not
see,
yet.
maybe something like that.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
great. That's great. I love it.
Right in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. Beth, these guys look like a tough bunch of thugs. Like, that is your analysis. Yep, that sure looks like a tough bunch of thugs. Maybe you could take them all on at the same time.
Maybe I could.
6 on 3. The math is probably not in your favor.
Maths.
Satus,
Okay.
these guys look terrifying as fuck. Like one of them is brandishing this big rusty knife. Another one of them is, patting a trident down on his hand. one of them is just straight up just like wrapping a chain around his knuckle. Like they look scary as hell. You are immediately questioning if you can actually make it out of this.
Okay, so we're fighting the newsman from Anchorman in the fight scene, is what you're describing.
Cal notices something interesting.
Okay.
Cal notices that, well, she notices two things. First, that there is, for lack of a better term, a somewhat GIF-like quality to these people. They're all doing threatening things, but they seem to be cycling and then going back to the same threatening things. Like, there is sort of an effect of, one of them will be like, grrr, grrr, grrr.
Video game character select screen.
Yes.
And also, their shadow is going the opposite direction of Deadeye Barons.
Okay.
Who, by the way, at this point will sort of go, please, nobody needs to get hurt. We can be genteel and civilized about this. I really think that you should just step off the cart, let me take whatever it is that you're transporting to Coldriver, and we can just call it a lovely day. We can go back. You were having a nice day. I was having a nice day. There's no reason why that needs to change at all.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
At this point, he will sort of, open up his cloak and brandish his rapier and go, must we really do this the uncivilized way?
I think just because both Helena and I and Satus are so scared about it, I think Satus would lean over to Cal and be like, Cal, there are 6 of them and 3 of us.
It's fine.
Is it...
What?
Eldon will go, I'm not getting involved in this, by the way. Like, whatever you guys do, keep my glorious blue hair out of it.
Thanks a lot,
Noted.
Eldon. Yeah.
I don't get paid
I
nearly
love
enough
your-
to tangle with bandits.
Understood. This is what we're here for.
Cal, what should we do?
I think we should attack them.
Okay, all of them, or just him, or...
Let's attack him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, roll me a stealth check to see if you're able to do this without Deadeye Baron listening to you. I think that's just between Helena and Cal, please.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness, because I
very
rolled a
quiet.
4.
Okay. I got a 15 plus 3 for 18.
Beth.
And I got a 3 + 1 for a 4.
So I think that Cal very, subtly whispers, and then Helena goes, which one should we attack? Just sort of a very that mellow. At which point, everyone please roll initiative. Like, we're doing this, please.
We're in it. We're in it.
We're
Okay, great.
going.
Hope you're right, Cal.
I hope I'm right too.
Yeah.
Okay. I got an 18. 17
right.
plus 1.
I also have an 18, 17 + 1.
Oh my.
I have an 11, a 10 plus 1.
Okay, give me just 1 second. Oh my. Well, he rolled a 2, so he's going last.
Nice.
That's
But
right.
his companions rolled better, though.
Wait, but they're not real.
I never said that. I said that they have a
That's true.
GIF-like quality,
That's true,
and
that's
that
true,
their
that's
shadow
true.
goes
Yeah.
in the wrong direction. That should in no way imply things beyond that.
Okay.
So, Helena, you will be first.
Okay, good.
So, what would you like to do?
I would like to hit him with my greatsword, assuming I'm close enough, which I think I would be if he can overhear me.
I think that you can very much sort of leap off the cart. Or no, you were striding next to it. I think that you can run
I
up to
was.
him and take a swing with your sword, for sure.
Excellent. So roll my d20 to see if it hits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
11.
Are you adding anything to it? You should...
I add the hit, the plus...
Yes.
Okay, 16.
16, your sword goes just a little too wide and swings past him, unfortunately.
What? Okay, fine.
You don't get a dope-ass nickname like Dead-Ass Baron without being pretty good at fighting.
Sure. Great. Okay, well, I guess I'll just back off.
Satus, you're next.
Okay, I think I'm gonna cast Hideous Laughter on him,
Ooh.
which involves a wisdom saving throw, and he would perceive something hilariously funny. So should we do the roll first, and then I can tell my cool joke?
Yeah, let's see. No, actually, tell your cool joke, and we'll see how the effect goes.
We'll see how.
So Satus would look at the guy with the trident and be like, "A trident? Try as you may, but that won't do a dent into our armor."
Alas, Deadeye Baron has rolled his first natural 20.
Oh,
and
no!
just kind of squints
That was
a little
so good.
The same
That
face,
was such a good one.
the same face that he made when you asked him if he gave himself the nickname. He looks at you again with that exact face as he proceeds to also draw a dagger from his, from his belt.
Just to confirm, even if I am unsuccessful in a cast, I use a spell slot, yeah?
Yes, correct.
Okay, cool.
Correct. The horde of thugs is next, and they will rush up to you, Helena.
Oh, good.
Oh dear.
And
All of them.
yeah, all 5 of them will take a swing
Excellent.
at you. And you'll dodge the first one. You'll weave out of the way of the second one. You'll
Yeah.
duck from the third one. The fourth one will hit you square in the jaw.
Ow!
Except no ow. The fist goes through your jaw. And you are confused enough by that the trident comes at you for the 5th jab and also goes straight through your chest harmlessly.
Guys,
Satus-
wait, is happening?
Satus goes, "See, I told you."
Cal,
I
your
don't
turn.
understand.
Vindication. So quick question. Would I be able to sense whether perhaps this horde is undead?
Does Cal have an ability that lets her detect undead things?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, no.
I think that
Yeah, I mean, just-
here's what I would offer you. I think that
Yeah.
if you spent your action this turn doing an Arcana check of sort of
Okay.
taking a good long look at them and comparing and contrasting, I think that you could then, with a successful Arcana check, maybe determine their exact nature.
I tell you what, I'm gonna do this thing and tell you what the conditions of this thing are, and you can choose what to tell me afterwards. Okay.
So we're playing D&D. You're saying that we are playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons, Gabriel.
I see.
Dungeons and Dragons. Okay.
Tell
so
me.
I am going to cast Chill Touch on the horde of thugs. I create a ghostly skeletal hand in the space of a creature within range, and I make a ranged spell attack against it. Let's see how that goes.
Go for it.
Okay. Ooh, that's a 19 plus 5 for 24.
So an interesting thing happens.
Yeah.
Which is, you cast the spell, this chill, ghostly hand appears in the air and takes a swipe at, I'm just going to arbitrarily pick the guy that was wrapping the iron knuckle around his fist.
Yeah.
And it all kind of happens out of order. First, the chill touch goes through the guy. He doesn't react. It doesn't seem to touch him. A second later, you sort of see him go, whoa! And then, independent of that, some frost appears on him. But it kind of doesn't all seem all that connected. It seems very odd and disjointed.
Interesting. Do I don't get to roll damage or anything?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll handle that on this end. Don't worry about it.
Good to know.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Okay, great. And then I think I've hopped out of the wagon at this point, but I'm just gonna back up a bit.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Very good. It is Deadeye Baron's turn. He is going to disengage from you, Beth, as a bonus action. which
Okay.
means that he can move away from you without taking an attack of opportunity as he makes a beeline towards you, Cal.
Shit.
And he will do an attack with his rapier.
Uh-oh.
I hate this guy.
I assume that 8 does not hit.
It does not hit me.
Alas, he has 2 more attacks with his dagger per turn.
Fuck.
Does a 24 hit you?
Yeah, that'll hit. Yeah.
That will hit?
That'll hit me. Yep.
All right, very good. So that much will give you 8 points of damage as this dagger sort of digs into your shoulder.
Ow. Hang on a second here.
His second attack misses unless your armor class is less
Okay.
than 10.
So, as a reaction to that, I would like to cast Hellish Rebuke.
Ooh.
Tell me what this does.
Okay, so because of my infernal legacy, I point my finger at this dude, and the creature that damaged me is momentarily surrounded by hellish flame. The creature must make a dexterity saving throw.
That is an 18 dexterity saving throw.
That will succeed, but he still takes half of 2d10 fire damage.
All right, cook that up for me. So I think that this all happens in very fast succession. He runs up to you, plunges the dagger into your shoulder after you weave out of the way of the rapier. You instinctively point at him. This pillar of fire bursts up underneath his feet that he's only able to just jump out of the way from. And gets
Great.
singed as he does, though.
Great. Okay, so I rolled 2d10 and I got 6 on both of them, so he takes 6 damage.
Lovely. All right, and with that, we come to the end of our first round of combat. Beth, we're back to Helena.
Right, you better bet I want to hit him with my sword.
I would like to bet that you would like to hit him with your sword.
That is what I want to do.
All right.
Also
Won't
get his
take that
attention
then.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Okay, I get a 16 plus 5.
Yeah, this time your great sword finds purchase as you bring it down on him.
Yes. Yeah, that'll teach him. Okay. So we have maths. 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 3 is 12, right?
12?
I don't know. I think I've counted wrong. Yes, I have.
What is it?
5 plus 4
Uh-huh.
The addition you did is correct.
Yeah.
plus 3. Right, yeah.
If you do 12 points of damage to this guy,
Yes.
yeah, like, you will bring down that sword and cause him to grievously be injured as he sort of lets out this yelp as you catch him from behind just as he is getting his bearings from the fire.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to stop fighting now.
That'll show him.
As he turns around, you see the deadly glint of fury in his eye. I don't think that he's in that place yet.
Oh, sure. Fine.
Satus, I think that you're up.
Okay, so he's like not doing so hot.
He has now received a considerable injury.
Okay. Decisions. Considerable injury. I should. Oh man, let's. You know what? I'm gonna. Yeah, if he's received a considerable injury, then let's go the attack route. I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave.
Oh shit. Point of just curiosity.
Yeah.
Your 2 teammates are very close to this man. Can you?
Oh, you're right. I shouldn't do that.
Ductles.
Nah, I shouldn't do that then. I will not use that. Instead, I think I'm just gonna. How about this? I'll just do the cantrip of Vicious Mockery, going in the same thing, except now that I'm angry, I'm going to unleash a string of insults laced with subtle enchantments for a creature I see in range. So it's a Wisdom saving throw, and then I roll a D4 for the damage.
Sure. Wisdom saving throw?
Yes.
That is a 9 total.
He needed a 14, so that is not good enough.
Not going to do it.
Nice.
Nice. So now I need my vicious mockery. I'm going to utilize your misspeaking from before, where you accidentally called him Dead Ass Baron instead of Dead Eye Baron, and I will repurpose this to say Dead Eye Baron, more like Dead Ass Baron, and then I roll my d4, which is a 4, so 4 points of damage.
You will see him sort of close his eyes and shudder a little bit at that, but then you will see him get a nosebleed from the shudder as it caused him actual physical pain. This insult.
My nickname is so cool. Don't use it against me. It is psychic damage if that changes anything.
Yeah. I think that we can roll with that.
Cool.
Excellent. The horde of thugs will now try to swing at you, Mike.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, at this point, do you even try to dodge from these people's attacks?
I think for the humor of it all, especially because I've back-to-back used Hideous Laughter and Vicious Mockery, I think Satus intentionally goes in front of their attacks. He tries to lean into the punch and jumps in front of the trident.
It's a very surreal experience as trident, fist, sword, rusty dagger, headbutt, they kind of all grab you in quick succession, none of them missing, but none of them actually causing a physical sensation.
Got it. I do limbo under the chain guy, though.
Nice.
Nice.
Cal, you're up.
I'm up? Okay. Wait, the guy doesn't get to... No, that's right. It's me first.
Correct.
I got confused. Okay. I think...
Dead-ass Baron goes after you.
Dead-ass Baron goes after me. Okay. I am going to... he's close to me, right?
Yes, he's next to you, more or less.
He's standing next to me. Okay, so I'm going to reach out. Is he wearing any armor?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to reach out and touch him and cast Shocking Grasp.
Oh my. It is leather
lightning...
armor, just to be clear.
Okay, well then that doesn't. Then I guess I don't have advantage, but that's okay. I'm still going to do it.
Alrighty. That's an attack roll on your part, right?
Yes, it is. Okay, so that's a 16 plus 5 for 21.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that overcomes his armor
that,
class.
That overcomes his armor. Okay, so then I am going to roll a d8 for damage, and that's a 6 for damage.
Cool. He looks angrier and angrier as you grab onto him and send these bolts coursing through his body.
Yeah.
So much so that he will then try to immediately stab you back with his rapier.
Shit.
That is a 15 to hit, Emma?
Yeah, that'll hit.
That'll hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Stupid sorcerer, forgetting you need to back off.
6 points of damage as the rapier digs into your side.
Okay.
And he will then try to stab you twice more with the dagger.
Oh my, back off, dude. Come on.
Just a little tiefling.
Yeah, both of those do hit, Emma.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That's another 8 points of damage total.
I'm down.
No.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, he just kind of in very quick succession digs the dagger twice into you.
Oh, man.
Oh.
And you are unconscious.
Here we go.
Beth, you see all of that. It's your turn.
I don't think we were having a good day. Do I have a potion?
I have cure. Can I cure wounds on someone who's down?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then I will. Satus would then turn down and be like, Helena, I'll take care of Cal.
Okay.
Kick this guy's ass.
Yeah.
We'll try if I can hit him because he is difficult to hit. But that's going to be what we're going to try to do.
Mike, quick interruption. I'm so sorry. I think that your microphone is a little bit hotter than everyone else's.
Ooh,
so if you could lower the volume a tiny bit. I did see it just peaking a little bit.
Done and done.
How are we sounding, folks, all together with that? I'm speaking. This is how I speak.
I think that the thing that I've been seeing have been about Mike's microphone. So hopefully with that,
I also
Mike's
I will
mic.
not instinctively lean in as I usually do when I'm podcasting. I realize that.
Yeah. I know.
Thank you for the feedback.
We'll calibrate accordingly. Okay, Beth.
Calibrate.
Cal, you are down. I am going to try and smack him with my massive sword. And I have rolled a 13 plus 5 is 18.
An 18 is exactly what you needed in order to be able to smack him with your massive sword.
Okay, well, it's really hard. I'm just for future. Could easily not happen. Okay, let's see what happens. Great. I have got maths. A 14.
With a 14. With a 14, your sword comes down. It slashes through the air. It makes impact. And a moment later, you hear a thud as the hand holding the dagger that just stabbed Cal falls to the floor, now completely severed from the body of Deadeye Baron.
Well, good.
More like Dead Hand Baron.
Save some for vicious mockery, Mike. Save it.
Yeah.
Save it for when you need
Save
it.
it for me.
Okay, Mike, it is your turn now.
Okay, I am going to utilize my spell of Cure Wounds on Cal to try and heal her up. So I'll use the first level version of it, which says a 1d8 plus 4.
Do you need to be touching her for the spell? Is the range touch?
It does say touch.
Cool.
So
you brush over to
I
Cal.
move over. Got it.
Put your hands on her. I think that's very easy.
Okay. This dice goes up to 8. I know which one the d8 is.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's only a 2. So 2 plus 4 would be 6 points of healing.
At least Cal is conscious again.
That
Cool.
is great. Do I heal six
Yeah,
points?
you go back up to 6.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. How do I 1, 2, 3, 4?
The Horde goes next.
Mhm.
And it is getting stranger and stranger. This sort of like disjointed horde of thugs tries to rush you, Mike, this time. But their swings are going wider and wider. They sort of seem less coordinated. You actually see one guy's eyes are now completely looking at different points in space. It really sort of seems like whatever is causing these people to be here is starting to go a little bit wobbly.
Okay.
Cal, you and your 6 points are up next.
Okay. So I'm back up.
You're back up.
I don't need to take an action to get back up or anything.
We'll say that you need to spend half your movement to get back on your feet.
Half my movement to get back up.
But
Okay.
Sure.
So I am going to do that and then move as far away from Baron Deadhand as
That will give him an attack of opportunity.
Oh, is he right? He's right there.
He just finished stabbing you. He has not moved since he stabbed you.
He hasn't moved since
But
he
he's
stabbed me.
armless. Sorry. No.
Okay.
I'm sure he's not.
I can't retroactively cast Hellish Rebuke as a reaction because he killed me.
I don't know. Not
okay,
retroactively.
That's fine. Let me take a look here at what I got. Oh, is it time? Yeah. Let's do it. I'm going to cast Magic Missile at second level.
Oh my.
Yeah.
We're getting spicy.
Yeah, we're getting spicy here. And so I create 3 glowing darts of magical force. Each dart hits a creature of my choice. That's going to be him, that I can see within range. A dart deals 1d4 plus 1 force damage to its target. The darts all strike simultaneously, and you can direct them to hit one creature or several. And because it's a second level, it's going to be... It's 4.
Yeah,
it's 4 darts.
I think it's one more.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw 4 darts at this dude.
Cook that up for me, please.
Yep. That's 5. 16.
That is the sound as your darts speed at him and impact him. Boom, 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 boom. And he staggers back, winded, his eyes wide, as he probably starts to wonder how this lovely day has started to get so far away from him.
Oh my goodness, but that didn't kill him?
He's still on his feet, and it is his
never
turn
die.
as he looks around, goes, fuck, reaches into his belt, takes out a flask, uncorks it, chugs it,
No.
and the image of him starts to slowly vanish as he turns invisible.
What?
Beth, it's your turn.
Yeah. I don't have weapons for that.
Yeah.
I guess I will try and just swing my sword in a complete circle.
Here's what I'll offer you.
Yes.
He's going to do a stealth check. Depending on how that stealth check goes, you are going to make a perception check, either with advantage or with disadvantage, to see if you can kind of triangulate where this invisible opponent is or not.
Okay, this shall go well.
That I could do
Roll me that perception check with advantage, please.
Oh, great. So I got 15 minus 1 or a 14 minus 1, so 15 minus 1 is 14.
You, for a moment, have no idea where he is, and then, over your shoulder, you hear as a twig is stepped on. And you immediately are able to look down and see a very faint imprint of boots on grass.
Okay, then at that moment, I'm going to swing fully around and
Go
see
for
if
it.
I can hit him. Okay. 11 plus 5 is 16.
Alas, no cell.
See, this is it.
Mike, your turn. You can sort of see where Beth just took a swing at him, so you have a general idea of where this guy is. But if you try to hit him, it will be with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Although, if you did Thunder Wave, you would just kind of get a nice area.
That is very true, but would I hurt my friends?
We could run.
He has now sort of moved away from the area where everyone was clustered. So you could stand where Helena is and just kind of put a block of lightning bolts in front of her.
Okay, if I am not going to hurt my friends, then yes, I will utilize Thunderwave.
All right.
So he has to do a Constitution saving throw.
Poorly. He does poorly on his Constitution saving throw.
Nice.
Good.
Nice.
That's what you love to hear. So then I get to roll 2d8 of thunder damage. That is a 7, and that is a 6. So that's 13.
Wow. I love it.
There's a
I hope this guy
blast
would
of thunder
Just die!
that
Just die!
blasts your hair back. A strangled scream. And then, sure enough, you sort of see Baron Deadeye turn visible and just land on the ground, unmoving, very, very dead.
Oh,
Yes!
Yes, Satus.
Now he's Baron dead everything.
Nice.
There is a moment where the horde of thugs kind of just stands perfectly still, as if waiting for a new instruction. But then there's a pop, and they disappear.
Very interesting.
And with that, you are out of combat. You sort of hear applause back from Eldon at the cart, who looks very, very relieved that that is the way that things went. And he'll sort of go, boy, you folks are sure earning your gold for this trip.
Couldn't have done it without you, Eldon. Thanks for all the
Yeah.
help.
Thank you, Eldon.
He sort
Thanks
of
for
points
the
at you
moral
guys
support.
and goes, here for you. But also here for not dying needlessly. So I'm very glad that you guys were here.
I respect that. Yeah.
Well done, team. You were wonderful.
Yes. Thanks for the healing, Satus. I really appreciate that.
Look, anything I can do to help. Sorry that that guy was so incessant on stabbing you.
Yeah, it felt personal.
It
you
just
know?
so we just met him.
Yeah.
Fully.
Oh.
Seriously, I'm glad he's dead.
To be fair,
Me
he gave
too.
you a lot of options of ways to not have to fight him. You could have handed over the goods.
True. Speaking of handing over of goods, can we like steal stuff from this guy now that he's dead? Can we like take stuff from his?
From
Yeah.
Not
from the
Not from Eldon.
yeah, I was
No,
about to
not
say
from Eldon. Sorry, not Eldon. Not Eldon.
from
not Eldon.
the what? Yes.
Yeah, I want to. If we could, like, if this dude has all but stuff in his jacket.
Yeah.
angry
You
at this
can
guy now.
definitely.
Search this guy.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. I'm gonna say that Satus, you're sort of the one doing this.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask that you roll me a investigation check.
All right. Let's see. Am I good? I'm all right at that one. Let's see. That would be an 11 plus 4 for a 15.
Cool. Well, he's carrying a couple of things. First, you kind of have the somewhat gruesome experience of trying to get the severed hand to let go of the dagger. You kind of have to be like, come on, like, open up. But you finally are able to get the dagger back, so you now have an extra dagger.
Cool. Great.
You are able to get his rapier. It's a nice rapier. There's, like, even sort of a little bit of silver built into the handle. It's, like, a quality piece of weaponry. You are in a back pocket in his coat. You find several folded up pieces of paper that when you unfold them, they reveal a series of wanted posters for Deadeye Baron. Sort of, just like different iterations of you might even call it the beginning of a scrapbook that someone was very excitedly putting together about their exploits.
Do any of them have reward if returned dead?
There are a couple of them. Most of them are rewards if returned alive. But you do see one for the town of Old Song that is pretty close by. That does have a reward for returned dead. So you might be able to get something for him. I
turn to the crew and say, "This could be quite an opportunity."
Indeed.
You also find a pouch containing 90 silver pieces.
Cool. Take it.
And a envelope that has been opened and now has sort of a piece of paper sort of stuffed back into it.
Okay. I would say first, so that we don't have to carry around a dead dude the whole time, I would just take off his eye patch. And then, like, can that serve as the proof that we killed this dude? Or are we really going to have to schlep a dead body around?
No, I'm going to say that it is a, like, very, very distinctive eye patch that he very famously stole from the pirate lord Remaric off of the Summer Isles, and it is
him I've heard of.
Very distinctive.
Yeah.
So no, I think that can, like, because I don't want to roll for, let's see how you do cutting off his head or anything like that. Let's say that eye patch is extremely distinctive in particular.
We could also take his hand. Does he have
but again, that feels
That's
monkey
weird.
paw.
Yeah, it's
like,
weird.
I don't
It's
wanna...
weird. Yeah, it's weird.
I guess the only other thing would be opening up that envelope to see what the paper says.
Yep. Let me send you the image, Mike, of what that paper says.
Ooh.
And you can do with that information as you choose.
Ooh.
Secrets.
How will you be sending it to me?
Right now I am texting it to you. You may be able to access that through your computer or through your phone.
Yes. Yeah, I can do it on my phone. Let's see. Interesting. I hope it'd be funny if it's just like it's just like a Sudoku puzzle that he was really
It is not. It is not.
That's amazing. Just out of curiosity, do we have any health potions?
Eldon will actually throw you a health potion from the cart.
Oh, thanks, Eldon.
The most basic of health potions.
Okay, so what does it do for me?
I believe that one is, let me make sure that it's just 1d4. 2d4 plus 2, excuse me. 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, that's great. That's much better.
I have not.
Hey, and I rolled 2 4s.
Lovely.
I'm almost.
Yes.
Like I didn't even die.
It seems that the attachment is taking a second to go through. Mike, I'm going to email this to you.
Okay, cool. The other thing, if that doesn't work, Satus is a team player, unless this is like a really scary thing that I feel like he's going to share with the group. He's going to share his findings with the room. But I will keep checking my inbox. In the meantime, I think I would, just for the camaraderie of it all, Satus would like to commend both Helena and Cal for such beefy attacks.
And Cal reciprocates. Satus, that thunder wave was dope. That was awesome.
Absolutely, that was incredible. You were both very impressive and scary.
Yeah, I like us.
Yeah,
I'd like us too. I think we're, go at first going into that fight. I thought we were outnumbered. I thought it was going to be scary. Cal, did you see something in there that made you think that?
Oh, right.
What was up?
Oh yeah, I saw that the shadows on his thugs, they were going in the opposite direction, so I could tell that he was controlling them.
Oh.
So they weren't really real. Yeah.
So what?
I think.
What
I don't
is
know.
that?
That's
what?
I don't know. I don't know, but I just got this sense that as long as we got him, they wouldn't be a problem.
Okay, I like it. Sweet. All right, so so here's this fun little piece of paper that I just took from his back pocket.
Oh, nice.
And I think we should read it. I'm just gonna read it out to you all. And
I love story time with Satus.
Well,
Yeah.
let me just say, I didn't write this one, so if it's bad, you have to blame the Baron. So this is addressed to the Baron. It says, Baron, events have started to turn, and I believe they will soon come to a head. As we discussed, take up a position along the eastern road. Play the part of the greedy brigand. Turn any travelers or traders away from the city. I do not want anyone interfering with Deverell's task, not when we are so close. Anything you take off travelers is yours to keep. It is of no matter to me. Keep the eastern road clear until the 20th day of Leofall, and you may consider the debt between us two at an end. And it is signed just the letter V. So,
just a quick
Sounds like
DM stepping in here. On the day that this is happening, it is the 17th day of Leaf Fall, the first day of the autumn months.
Right.
My apologies, their handwriting is not very good.
Yeah, that's okay. Understood.
So
sounds like somebody doesn't want us in the city.
Or they don't want anyone in the city. In 3 days' time, something big is going to happen. I mean, we were already headed to town, but it seems like we might be in for more than just the simple delivery of this cart. Eldon, do you know, does this ring any bells to you?
Eldon shakes his head and goes, nope. Admittedly, this will be only the second time to Coldriver that I've ever gone. It's been a couple of years since I've been up that way. I don't know what the latest is. I've heard that banditry in this area had been really bad recently, hence the security detail. But I don't know who this Deverell guy is. I don't know anything that's happening on the 20th. I don't know who V is. Yeah, nope, sorry.
Okay, well...
Sounds like we might have to do some investigating.
Yeah, I think we keep this all in mind.
If we want to, you know.
I mean, who knows? What if it's something serious?
It could be bad.
Yeah.
Ready.
Well, should we get back on the road?
Eldon says, I was going to say, I'd love to get there before nightfall, and right now I think that we are losing daylight, so I'd love to get rolling again.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
And as the cart gets rolling again, I would say let's take a quick 5-ish minute break, and we'll join these guys on the other side of the cart rolling adventure. So everybody stay tuned.
Awesome.
We'll be right back in a couple minutes.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Alrighty, folks, and we are back as our heroes make their way towards the city of Coldriver. And indeed, it takes you a couple more hours past your encounter with the world-famous Deadeye Baron.
In his opinion.
And it is dusk when you are finally getting to the outskirts of Coldriver. Coldriver is a small city, even by the standards of the Blackcrown, where things are not necessarily the most gigantic metropoli. But it is sort of a small riverside city, sort of in the highlands of the country. And as you drive in on your cart, Eldon will begin to steer you towards the trading post, where you have been told that you are to deliver the goods. By the way, we did not say this earlier, but you are specifically delivering some goods to a man called Earl Bareth Marwood, who you think is one of the nobles that takes place of the area around Coldriver. And in exchange for delivering these goods safely and satisfactorily, you were told that you were going to get 100 gold upon delivery of the goods to the local trading post here. And that you should ask for a man called Willem, who is the person that should be in charge of these things. And indeed, it doesn't take too long as you sort of make it past the gates of the walled city, before Eldon just kind of goes like, whoa, pulls the reins on the cart, and you come to a stop in front of Sildan's trading post, which also looks like the general store for the town. I'm sorry, Emma, I cut you off. Were you going to say something?
I was just going to ask, is that 100 gold for all three of us?
100 gold each, excuse me. 100 gold each.
100 gold each.
100 gold each.
Cool. Good distinction.
Yeah, the economics, I know, are very important.
Yeah, yes.
Yes. So, yes, and Eldon will sort of go, I'll get the horses unhitched. Do you want to go inside and do the official bit? Deliver Earl Marwood's goods?
Sure. Yeah, I guess that's what we're here to do, right? Okay. So, should we go inside?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Uh-oh. I couldn't hear you, Satus,
No?
just then. No, I could hear you, Helena. Oh, there you are.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, frog in my throat.
Yeah. So strange. Yeah.
The trading post is not very busy at this time of early night. You do, however, sort of see a gnome standing behind the counter, who waves at you as you sort of come inside and greets you. He has a very interesting and unusual article of clothing. Mike, what unusual article of clothing is this gnome wearing?
He has so it's a like a chain necklace, but it's got like a wristwatch face head in the middle of it. So
Wow.
it's like it's not like it's a very strange thing of like, can he even see it? But okay.
Sure, unclear. I love it.
Okay, great.
But he'll sort of go, welcome to Sildan's trading post. What can we do for the three of you lovely folks this evening?
We're here to deliver some goods for Earl Marwood. Marwood? Yeah.
He goes, oh, sure. Some of the Earl's goods? Sure.
This raises an interesting question. Do we know what these goods are? Have we looked inside?
Yeah.
Or are we like...
Yes.
Yeah.
It is, of course, pure heroin. No, when you took the job, you were actually shown what the goods are. It is mostly fairly innocuous trading goods. There is a bottle of some Solanese wines. There are some spices. There are some silk cloths. And within a box of charcoal, you were shown hidden a small strong box with a cache of gold that is being delivered as some payment. So that is the gist of what you are bringing. There is absolutely nothing illegal or nothing sort of strange in the cargo.
Can I do like a perception check to see why this dude laughed at us bringing the
I think that would be insight, but yes, you may.
Insight. Okay, cool. Because I just want to see what's behind that laughter. Oh no, that's a 2 + 4 for a 6.
You're pretty sure that he finds the name Earl Marwood very funny. It's just a funny name. You think that that's what's going on there. Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Yep. He'll sort of go, but all right. Sorry. Let's get this just with the proper part. Okay, for the Marwood goods, and he starts leafing through a ledger. He'll sort of go, great. I assume that you have some sort of intake paperwork, which yes, you do. You hand it over to him. He sort of quickly crosses a couple of things. Check. Great. And he'll sort of quickly dig into the cash register and bring out 3 pouches, and he'll put one in front of each of you on the counter. And he'll sort of go, pleasure doing business. We'll take care of the goods from here. How are the travels? Any problems on the road?
Well, it was mostly good until today. Yeah.
What happened today? Any issues? Monster attacks?
Have you heard of the Dead-Eye Baron?
Oh yeah, Dead-Eye Baron. He's supposed to be a very serious brigand. Baron has been giving the folks down at Old Song trouble for the past few months.
Well, I don't think he'll be giving them trouble anymore. Let's just say you can remove the I from his name.
Oh wow. You folks did that. That's mighty impressive. Well done.
Yeah, it was a team effort.
Yeah, Helena really smacked him with her sword quite well.
Satus and Cal were amazing. Even Eldrin, well,
I in no
Moral support.
I in no way doubted that it was a team effort before, but I'm really glad to hear just how much of a team effort it was. Great. Huh.
Say, do you know someone here in town who might go by V?
Yes. Plenty of folks. We have 2 Victors, 3 Valenias. I think that there's a gentleman that goes just by the name of Vox. There is 3 Voras. Plenty of people that are... I don't know. There's no one that is like a bard that is just known by the letter V, if that's what you're asking. But there's plenty of folks in town that use the letter V.
What's this Vox guy's story?
Pivoting to video.
He's a storyteller. He goes around town gathering specifically stories about other storytellers, and then writes it down in a gazette, which he then distributes, but also adds a lot of commentary about the stories that those storytellers tell. It's a very niche sort of trade publication that he's trying to get started, I think. I don't think that he'll be in town much longer.
Interesting.
Why do you ask?
Well, there appears to be some sort of correspondence between the Baron and someone who signed the letter V, and it all sounded very ominous, and since we were already coming to town, we just wanted to, see if there was anything we needed to check in on. It seemed like the Baron was trying to be very secretive about it.
He'll sort of shrug and go, honestly, beats me. But...
Is there anyone here in town who might know more and maybe be able to tell us something? Maybe a local innkeep, perhaps?
Yes, I would strongly recommend that you stay at Fortune's Wheel. That's the inn right across from the old town square. You can't miss it. The benefactor of your security detail, the owner of these goods, is having some sort of long-term residency there right now, so I'm sure that they will be very glad to thank you in person, even. So that will kill two stones with one bird, as the expression does not go. So they might know something. All kinds of rumor mongers and just general talk goes down there, especially after hours once people get off work. I would also inquire at the local constabulary, the Ember Citadel. That's on the far side of town. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to talk to you if you killed Deadeye Baron. But I would say that if you want to know about weird things going on, that's the place to... Those are the places to do it. I'm not sure.
Okay. Does the name Deverell mean anything to you?
Nope. Never heard of it.
Oh. Okay. It was also mentioned, I guess we can inquire around about Deverell and apparently Deverell's task.
Indeed.
Nope. Sorry, can't help you there, folks.
Well, thank you very much for this prompt payment. We very much appreciate that. And, unless you guys have anything else to do, I think we'll let you get on with your evening.
Lovely. Thank you. Yes, if there's sort of anything that you guys would like to buy here, we could definitely do that.
Oh.
But otherwise, I think we can move on ahead.
I guess we should figure out what is the next step before we buy stuff.
Yes.
We always want to buy stuff, but we never have enough money.
Yeah, we're in an interesting spot of having money and then also having future money whenever we go to the place where we bring the eye patch. We're
Yeah, that's exciting. We have to go there, don't we? Get our cash.
we should.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. What are you guys feeling? Maybe go to the inn?
Yeah, let's go to the inn and meet our benefactor, maybe, and see if anybody knows what's going on with V and Deverell and the late Baron Deadeye.
Dead as hell.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. As you leave the trading post, Elden, who is done sort of, unhooking the horses from the cart and is now helping two burly humans unload the cart, will wave to you folks and sort of say, "Pleasure working with you. Hope that fortune continues to favor you."
Cheers,
Same
Elden.
to you. I hope may your hair and beard be forever blue. I don't know.
I see. I have no plans of changing it, lad.
Good.
May your tiger necklace always glimmer in the sun.
He'll sort of, hit his shoulder a little bit at that, and then go back to unloading boxes.
I'm gonna miss that guy.
So you're heading for Fortune's Wheel for the tavern?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
As Willem, the gnome that just helped you out in the trading post, mentioned, in order to do that, you need to cross Old Town Square, which is this big plaza in the center of town. It is kind of incredibly hard to miss because right in the middle of the plaza, there is this very, very, very big tree. Kind of like this very big oak tree, except its leaves are all opal black. And it doesn't look dead or unhealthy. It looks like a perfectly fine and healthy tree. But its leaves are just all completely black. And these are pretty rare trees, but you've seen a couple of other ones as you have made your way up and down the Blackcrown. Most of the time, Blackcrown cities are built around one of these trees.
Do we know anything about them? Are they special, or they just
Yeah, could we
kind
like
of
nature
trees?
check?
Yeah, that would be a
maybe?
nature check.
Nature check.
Okay. Any of you guys get?
I'm okay. I'm not great. Ooh, that's not bad. 16 plus 2 for an 18.
Okay.
I got 16 plus 4 for a non-natural 20.
I get a 2. Isn't it? I think.
Yep,
I think that's a tree.
That's about
Yeah.
where you are. You suspect that if you chopped it down, you might have wood.
Yeah.
No, what did you get, Mike? I'm sorry?
Non-natural 20.
A dirty 20. And Emma, you got over 20?
I got 18.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you both know roughly the same things, i.e. everything about these trees. They are not magical, but they are rare, and they only grow in this part of the world. And they are very odd. They're kind of a botanical mystery. Nobody is quite sure how these trees reproduce because they're never found in groups. They are only ever found sort of one at a time on their own. But they were seen as a sign of this being favored ground, or this being sort of a lucky place, or even this being a place that was smiled upon by the gods, which is why in the early days when people were settling this area, they built their towns and their cities around these Blackcrown trees, which is where the region gets its name as well.
Interesting. They are the anti-aspen, if you will.
If you will, correct, yes.
Yeah.
Underneath this particular Blackcrown tree is an interesting site, which is a big crater on the ground. It looks like it was once sort of very neatly paved stone that was just blasted apart by something. And next to it is the statue. Is a statue of a slim elven man holding a sword up in sort of this very defiant pose. And if you all roll me history checks, maybe one of you knows what's going on there.
Hey, natural 20 plus 7.
What?
Yeah, fun fact. Mike's D20 has 15 20s on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, you instantly recognize this man. His name is Soren Silvershield, or more accurately, was Soren Silvershield.
Okay.
The Blackcrown is a relatively new country. It used to be a part of the Veldrin Empire for a very long time. 10 years ago, it had a revolution and kind of won its independence. This is the man that started this revolution by being a little bit of a Robin Hood figure. He spent a very, very long time robbing from Veldrin tax collectors, robbing from officials, and using and giving back that money to a lot of the smaller impoverished communities, of which in the Northern Territories there were a lot of. When his name became famous, a lot of people started to say that he was a divine soul, even that he was someone whose existence was touched and blessed by the gods in some way. Everybody thought that it was a lot of superstition until the Veldrin authorities caught him, had a trial for him in the town of Coldriver, and then hung him here. And the moment that he drew his last breath, a lightning bolt came down from the heavens and struck the scaffold and blasted it apart. And that was the moment that kicked off the revolution that led to the Blackcrown being an independent country. And ever since then, the ground here has been left exactly as it was when the lightning bolt sort of struck, as a sign that the gods did not look kindly upon Soren Silvershield, whether he really was a divine soul or not, being killed in this way.
So if anyone ever doubted why Gabriel is the DM, now you have your answer, because that was cool as hell.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
And Satus, and this is something that as a storyteller and as someone that knows about things and about history, you would have heard this story a long time ago. And it might sort of be the kind of thing that it might even be a little bit of a moment for you, the way that when we sort of go to real moments in history where important things happened, you're now kind of being whoa, this was the place. This was, the Blackcrown tree where that lightning bolt hit, and where all of that happened. Whoa.
Yeah, I think Satus would be very impressed. He would relay the story to the other two, just in case they were unfamiliar with the lore. Just a question of mine. So is it now that the town liked this guy and it it's like the town is now very pro someone who would do this sort of thing.
Ye-
But at the time, he was not enjoyed.
So there's definitely it sort of depends on who you ask. For most of the local population, this guy was the folk hero to end all folk heroes. The big administrative government of Veldria was not doing its job properly, was not helping them out, was taking a bunch of money in taxes and not doing its job properly. So this guy's sort of standing up to that and being like, no, we're not going to do that. We can take care of our own. We can stand on our own. Everyone was very pro that bandit. It doesn't mean that now, 10 years later, everyone around here is like, yeah, we kind of really dig the bandit life. What if somebody just kind of robbed us? That would be dope. There is sort of a fine line here that is walked, but especially sort of among the older folks and the folks that were here in time to remember the revolution. This particular sort of, Robin Hood-like bandit was very celebrated and very much cherished by the local population.
And I'm sorry, when was this?
A little over 10 years ago.
Satus.
A little over 10 years ago.
Satus, when did you say this was? Yeah.
A little over 10 years ago, I think.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Not so long, huh?
Oh, that's very cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Well, I guess we would continue on towards the end unless there's anything else the two of you wanted to do by the statue or the tree.
There are a couple of people just kind of milling around. There's a couple of folks selling apples and just kind of general goods. A couple of people seem to be maybe even out on a couple of dates, having just kind of outside meals in this big plaza. It's a bustling square. It's not exactly rush hour, but there's people around.
Sure. I think let's go to the inn.
Yeah, let's go to the inn.
And you can actually sort of see a big building with this very nice thatched roof on the other side of the tree, where you can already read a very big sign that says Fortune's Wheel.
Let's spin it. Cal's attempts at puns are not as good as Satus's.
Satus puts his hand on Cal's shoulder and goes, You're getting there.
Thank you.
As you open the door into Fortune's Wheel, you are immediately hit with a blast of pleasant warmth. There's some music, there's sort of a lot of chatter of conversation, and indeed, you sort of enter into the common room of this inn where there are a lot of people having meals, having some drinks, playing cards. But the first person that catches your eye is this big, burly orc woman standing behind the bar that's closest to the door. And she'll sort of, raise a hand and sort of go, welcome to Fortune's Inn. Fortune's Wheel, excuse me.
Yeah.
Are you looking for accommodations, for a meal, for a drink? How can we help you tonight?
I think we want at least a meal, right? Do we need to stay somewhere tonight? Hadn't thought about that.
It's dark and you don't want to be on the roads these days after dark.
Yeah.
Here sounds great then.
Maybe
Yes.
if we find our benefactor, maybe he'll pay for our rooms.
Your benefactor, who is helping you out.
That's what the... that sounds like what the word benefactor means, yes?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes,
We've
but
just completed some work for Earl Marwood, and we're hoping to encounter him.
that will be tough. One moment. And she'll sort of, go 1 second, and she'll write a quick note on a piece of paper and flag one of the serving women who is taking care of people around the room, and she'll hand the note to her, whisper something, and the serving woman will zoom off. And she'll sort of go, you folks are from out of town, aren't you?
What gave it away?
That you're talking about Earl Marwood, who, hasn't been seen around these parts in the better parts of 3 years? It's been a second since Lord Marwood really did much of anything around these parts. Nowadays, it's mostly his younger daughter, Lady Atala Marwood, that has been handling things. But given the fact that the title does not pass down to her until her layabout father actually dies, the fiction has been maintained outside of Coldwater that he is still the reigning noble around here. But you've actually been working for Lady Atala Marwood, not for the Earl, wherever he may be.
Well, thank you for disillusioning us. Perhaps we could meet with her.
I just sent her a note to let her know that some folks that are working for her are actually here.
That's very kind.
So as soon as she gets it, we're not sure if she's in right now, but I'm sure she'll be thrilled to talk to you.
Oh, good. Should we have a drink or some food in the meantime?
Please?
What is... does this place have a signature drink of sorts?
Yes, we call it the Coldwater Kick. It is a lot of vodka.
Well, I'm not one to step on any cultural traditions, so why don't you pass me a Coldwater Kick?
Very good. And, I think that at this point we can kind of, soft fade into sort of, like the time when sometime later...
Coldwater kicks all around.
Yeah, Coldwater kicks all around. And we sort of rejoin this maybe a little while later. And I just kind of want, like, the flavor of, are you guys sitting in a quiet corner, just kind of, like, decompressing after your journey here? Are you trying to talk to the local color? Are you chatting with, this woman, who, by the way, her name is Vola Darkroot. She is the owner of Fortune's Wheel. Are you talking to sort of the more boisterous people that are all about in the tavern? Sort of, what is the vibe of your first hour here in this tavern?
Me, this feels like a very Helena place. I would love if, like, I think like Helena's chatting it up, and me and Cal are just kind of like watching her do her thing.
Yeah, we're kind of in the corner behind her.
Yeah, I think for the first hour I'm enjoying getting to know people, saying hello, making friends, but I'm not really hitting the Coldwater Kick because for the first hour at least I feel like we should just keep an eye out given some of the things that have happened recently, but that might deteriorate. We'll see.
Great. Roll me just a straight charisma check. Just D20 plus your charisma modifier to see how this goes.
Okay, that is an 18 plus... Sorry, wait for it.
It's gonna go extremely well.
Yeah,
that's a good
plus
one.
3,
Yeah.
plus 3. It's a plus 3.
It's gonna go exceedingly well. These people just, like, there is a split second of, who are you? And then it's like, you are a warrior, you're so cool, like, let us buy you a drink, like, where do you come from?
Wow.
And I think that very quickly you are just kind of immersed in the whirlwind of local gossip and local rumor that everyone is talking about. There's this mason that has been hearing all of these rumors that a dragon has been terrorizing a logging town to the north of where Coldwater is, which sounds patently false to you. We know that dragons are real, but nobody has seen a dragon in many hundreds of years. They seem to have just at some point vanished off of the face of the world. You've kind of all seen dragon skeletons in museums, but dragons are not a thing now. This guy says otherwise. For sure, town to the north of here, 100% being terrorized by a dragon. Definitely a blue dragon, 100%, except that other guy says it's a green one, but maybe it's a green one. 60% chance that it's a blue one, 40% chance that it's a green one. For sure, 100%. You can put that in the newspaper. What was that?
You haven't seen it yourself.
No. I mean, no. I'm still here. This dragon apparently, attacked this logging town. There were no survivors. It was like a bloodbath. And then someone else chimes in. If there were no survivors, who saw this? Blah 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 blah. There's sort of a lot of that. There is also some talk of people sighting fey beings to the west of town, which is slightly more concerning because unlike dragons, fae beings are known to be a problem in this area in recent times, and they've definitely kidnapped people and sort of done away with them in the past. So that is a rumor that you hear with everyone is kind of a little bit more somber about that one. There's also some vague whispers about some sort of new organized crime going on in the area. Some folks are hearing that there's sort of a new crime boss somewhere in the area around Coldwater. But beyond that, these people don't seem to know a lot about it. And finally, they do mention that, old Karen Elgrim is trying to put together another expedition to find the Helig Var. And this is something that everyone finds hilarious. Everyone is like, oh boy, there goes Karen again on another one of those doomed expeditions. You'd think that she'd learn after all these years. But that is sort of another moment where everyone is just like rolling their eyes or rolling around laughing at the prospect of this.
Karen?
Karin. K-A-R-I-N.
Okay.
And to find the what?
The Helig Var. It's this old temple thing. And someone else chimes in and is like, no. I talked to her about that a long time ago. It's not a temple. It's some kind of old, like, battery, like this, like, artillery thing. And someone is like, nah, you're both wrong. It's this, like, this ancient natural wonder that is supposed to be around here. But it's all fairy stories. And then someone else has a different idea of what the Helig Var is. And then another person has a different idea about what it is. There's a real sort of game of telephone about what this woman is trying to do.
Okay.
But I think that those are kind of the things that you sort of hear as you sort of spend time in this tavern. Before the tavern door slams open and a man wearing silver-plated armor comes in and sort of, clears his throat loudly. Where are the 3 people that came from Dawn's Point?
That's us.
Hello.
Please, come with me.
We do that.
Cal downs the rest of her
Cold water
kick.
kick.
Yeah.
Uh,
and follows.
This is a very, very stiffly what's the word I'm looking for? This is a man with a ramrod posture, a human man in his 30s that sort of wordlessly leads you up a flight of stairs into the second story of this inn, and then opens a door to reveal a private dining room where a lovely meal has been set up, and where there are 4 chairs at this table, one of which is already occupied with a young woman who couldn't be a day over 20, is probably even a little bit younger than that, and has this dark hair in a very ornate braid. And you all instantly see these very, very distinctive silver eyes. And the stiff ramrod man in the silver armor will sort of announce, the Lady Atala Marwood. Lady Marwood, the security detail of your goods. And Lady Marwood will sort of go, please, come in. Sit down. I've arranged for a lovely meal for you, entirely my treat, as is your accommodations here tonight. We got you some nice rooms so that you can rest and recover in style.
Satus whispers to Cal, oh, good call.
Yeah, thanks. Glad we didn't get our own rooms.
Oh, yeah.
After that, however, you are on your own. My largesse can only stretch so far.
Thank you very
Understood.
much.
Understood. Thank you for your generous hospitality.
Please, sit down, dig in. If I could just do a quick round of introductions. I understand that you are all freelance fighters, adventurers of some sort?
Yeah.
That's correct. My name is Helena Hailstorm, and these are my companions.
She says it with a lot more confidence than the two of you do. This sounds like an adventurer and a fighter.
That is certainly the case. Helena is much more in tune with the fighting and the adventure of it all, whereas I am new to this, but I like to think that we all complement each other very well.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all.
I'm
Please.
Satus and Kurtum, by the way. Sorry, didn't give a name.
And I'm Cal, and I'm an adventurer too. Yeah, I like adventure.
That sounds better. That sounds like a woman that is ready to take the world by storm.
Absolutely.
We very much complement each other, and don't let my colleagues fool you. They are extremely fierce in a pinch, and sometimes outside of a pinch.
Lovely. Wonderful, wonderful. I happen to be in the market for some folks that are extremely good in a pinch, and especially for someone that is looking to capitalize on their goodness in a pinch. I was wondering if you happen to be those sorts of folks, or if you were just looking to take in the sights and then head back towards the southern lands.
No.
Our pinchiness sounds good.
Yeah, I think we're pinch people. Yeah.
Until somebody beats it. I think that is the name of the group. So,
What have we done?
Oh, no.
Lovely. Daylon, she'll say, and look over to her bodyguard, basically. Please fetch us a bottle of wine as I discuss business with these three lovely folks. As you may have gathered, I am the, let's call it, caretaker of the noble post in these parts. My father was the Earl of Marwood for many years. He technically still is. Although, last I heard, he was getting drunk with pirates off the coast of the southern lands, so he's not much for managing the territories, which is fine. I think that I realized that my father did not know what to do with money around the time that I was 11, and I started giving myself that education since then because, well, someone had to do a proper job of managing the estate and the lands around here.
Seems like you're doing a great job.
Absolutely.
Thank you, thank you. You may notice that I'm living in a tavern, so there have been hiccups. Specifically, there's been a hiccup where a few weeks ago, some sort of dark magical power stormed my manor. It killed some of my guards. We blacked out, effectively. In one instant, it was pandemonium, panic. We were trying to determine what happened. And then the next, we were all standing outside of the manor with a sign carved into the back of one of my gods saying that we no longer lived there, that this property was under new management and that we should not ever go back there. Approximately a day later, another curious thing happened, which is that dark clouds began to gather around the manor and the surrounding lands, which are about 2 hours to the west of the main city. It seems that something is rather keen on keeping the sun away from whatever they are doing in my home. And I, for my part, am very, very keen on recovering my home.
Understandably.
Of course.
The local armed forces are very sympathetic to my cause, but unfortunately, banditry and monster attacks in these parts for the past 2 months have been completely out of control. I honestly would rather have them focus on that than on helping me. But if there is someone here that is perhaps looking to make a little bit of money and has some skill in handling matters that involve violence and magic, I would hate to let the opportunity go by without inquiring if you might be able to help me require Marwood Manor.
Well, it's not just someone who's interested, it's some three.
Lovely. Very good. Very good. Pours you more wine. You are her
Yeah,
new
yeah.
best friend.
Yeah.
We're certainly sympathetic to your story. I know how it is to lose a family home, and indeed to have a family who have no sense of money. I don't
It's
know
a
if we
terrible
know...
thing. It's a terrible thing.
It is a terrible thing, a curse. Anyway, I'm sure we could talk about that all night, but I don't know how we would deal with this particular problem, but we've never been stopped before.
I think this attitude does you a credit. I just want to be very clear about the terms that I'm putting forth here. I would like you all to travel to my manor and evict whatever has taken up residence there. If it is through violent means, that's fine. If you are able to use diplomacy or some sort of persuasion to get them to leave, that's also fine by me. I do not need this resolved by violence. If you do that, she sort of reaches under the table and plops a heavy pouch full of coins on the table. Thunk! I will pay you 500 gold for that little service. Secondly, most of my household staff made it out alive when whatever happened there happened. But not my major domo. This man, Edwin Rhine, he's been a part of my family's household staff since I was a baby. I would very, very much like to see him return to my service. If you're able to find Edwin and return him to acting capabilities, she reaches under the table, flump, another pouch of gold lands on the table. I will pay you an additional 500 gold. And secondly, whatever is going on at my house, if those miscreants are gone, that's good. If they never come back, that is vastly better. If you can determine what brought them there, and we can conclusively know that they will not be back, because whatever it is that they want is not there, if you are able to offer me some permanent solution rather than a reprieve, she reaches back under the table and thump, a larger still bag of gold. I will pay you 700 gold for that service. How does that sound?
Reasonable.
I think so as well, Mr. Inkertum.
Very reasonable and very good. Helena?
Yes, it does. It does sound reasonable. I was just thinking about the mission. This Edwin Rhine, is it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You said he was part of your household staff. Do you mind me asking what office he held?
He held the office of
Holds.
Major Domo.
I see.
And
He was in charge of the household staff.
Indispensable, I'm sure.
Quite. I would hate to dispense with him.
I wonder if you could give us any more information about these people or things or forces.
What you suspect?
Yeah.
I have to admit, I spent a lot of my youth learning about trade routes and the economics of farming grounds, and the best way to, serve the people through taxation without overtaxing them and ending up having another revolution on my hands. And that left precious little time to learn about the things that go bump in the night. So I'm not really sure what the presence is that took over my house is. And at this point, the otherwise silent bodyguard that's still in the room, Daylon, he'll sort of go, "It was a witch, ma'am. Dark powers. Folks saw some kind of dark, hunched-over shape. It was definitely a witch." And Lady Atala will respond, "Let's not jump to conclusions. We don't know that for sure, but some of the gods who made it out did seem to suggest that it was a solitary figure that was casting spells, and that they heard a high cackling laugh sort of a sound, which has made some of the folks involved think that it was someone that might be described as a witch, but I don't want to jump too far too quickly into the wrong conclusions."
thought of
experience.
like a witch in particular, or is it just like vague concept of someone who could do magic? It doesn't happen to be like a rumor of a witch that has a name that might start with the letter V, does it?
Perhaps.
Lady Atala will seize upon this and turn to Daylon and sort of go, yes, Daylon, please tell us, since you're an expert in these matters, apparently. What is the name of the witch? Where did the witch come from? Please, shower us with your insights. And Daylon will kind of go, we don't know, your ladyship. Precisely.
Okay.
You know, people are pretty quick to accuse a witch in instances like these. And it could be a witch. But
Perhaps.
but we are very thorough in our investigations.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And we make sure no one is falsely accused.
I can tell that we are going to be a great team. I think that we are on the same wavelength, and I think that we are going to love working together. Evict whatever's in my house, 500 gold. See Edwin return to me in some way, shape, or form. Another 500 gold. Figure out what in the blazes brought this monstrosity to my estate. More 600 gold.
I thought it was 700.
Did I say 700?
You're right, Callie. I think it was. It certainly was.
The first time you did, but if that was a misspeak.
This was a Gabriel misspeaking. Lady Atala would have said 600. Gosh darn it, I almost did it again.
I think she wants to give us 700.
Sounds like
If
it.
you do an
Sounds like
exceptional
there are-
job, we may throw in another 100 gold.
Sounds like there are forces at work here that we
But it
don't
was-
want to mess with.
You said it was 2 hours walk away?
About to the west of here. Daylon will give you detailed instructions on how to reach the estate.
Just one other question.
Of course.
And while we're here, does the name Deverell mean anything to you?
Fumbling with my dice. Can't say that I know that name.
No worries. I will ask every person we meet.
Deverell!
I don't. This piece of paper is ominous.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. We should ask.
Well, then I think we should. I guess we'll speak with
Daylon.
Daylon here about what we need, and then perhaps we'll swing by the general store to figure out any sort of materials we need. And I think after spending the night, we could kind of get on our way.
You may also want to swing by the Eye of the Storm. That's the local magical and sorcerous sundries supply store. Maeve, who works there, may be able to give you a little bit more firepower to add to your arsenal in a way that the trading post may have only the most basic of necessities. And if you see Maeve, the owner of the Eye of the Storm, tell her that I sent you, and that may be worth something.
Sounds
Thank
great.
you very much.
Thank you indeed.
Very good. Well, in that case, I have some more business to attend to, but Daylon will set you up with everything that you need in order to reach the estate. And I look forward to hearing about your success. You'll be able to find me here once you return, and I very, very much hope to see you again very soon.
We hope so too.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you. Thank you very much. And with that, she will very elegantly and with a grace unbecoming of someone so young just kind of waft out of the room.
I like her.
Yeah, seems pretty great. Very straightforward. We've got
So,
our 3 goals. I think we try to achieve all 3 and walk out of here with a sizable chunk of gold.
just missed that, Cal.
But that sounds very good to me.
Excellent. We do not need to roleplay talking to Daylon. He sets you up with killer, step-by-step, super detailed instructions on how to get to Marwood Manor. If you have any specific questions that you'd like to ask him, though, he can answer them.
I think because Cal's like a little tipsy from her cold water.
Kick.
The cold water kick?
the cold water kick. I think she like sort of like taps at his shiny metal armor a little bit, just
Clink, clink,
clink,
clink.
clink. It's very good armor, very, very well made. Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
Sorry.
ma'am.
That's it.
I see why we did a roleplay conversation with this guy.
yeah.
Yeah. So I guess if it's this late, and I'm assuming the stores would be closed, I would say go to sleep and then in the morning try to acquire both maybe Helena-based fighting goods and magical-based me and Cal goods.
Excellent.
Do we get any horses?
Yeah, that was gonna be the next question. Should we? Are we set on walking here?
Yeah. Are we walking on foot or do we get horses?
Until you tell me otherwise, this is a conversation that is happening between the three of you. If you would like to pose this to someone, let me know.
I think I would ask Daylon.
Yeah.
Daylon will sort of go, Lady Atala left no instructions on giving you horses to get to this place that is 2 hours walking speed away. But if you would like to visit the stables and arrange something, I'm sure they will be able to accommodate you for just a few hundred gold each.
Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe we'll
It's
find
not urgent to
horses
her.
later.
Why should it be urgent to us?
Yeah. Well,
It is extremely urgent to her ladyship. However, she is trying to be frugal with her limited resources, and it does not in any way impact your ability to get there to go on foot. The roads are in excellent state. Her ladyship hasn't made sure of it.
That's
Okay,
wonderful. We are a
walking
little
sounds
slower than
Walking
horses.
sounds
but, you know.
so great. We'll just have a wonderful conversation with each other the whole way there.
Maybe we can catch a horse
Maybe we'll find one.
and tame it. I'm up for that.
Yes. Okay.
We'll sit on it.
Yes. I think at least two of us could fit on one horse. Anyway. Thank you, Sir Daylon.
You are very welcome.
Yeah, let's go to bed and then hit up the stores tomorrow.
Cool. Alrighty. Remember that we are playing with controversial choice coming up, the gritty realism variant, which means that right now you are all getting a short rest. As with this variant, short rests take 8 hours. And a long proper rest that will completely get them back up to speed takes a week of resting. So Cal and Satus...
How long will Cal make it? Yep.
Cal and Satus, I think that you guys, you're at full health. So basically, you just get a refreshing nights of sleep. Helena and Satus. Excuse me. Yes, Helena and Satus. Cal...
Any sort of spell slot regaining, or is that only for a long one? Got it.
That is a long rest situation. Emma, you have a certain amount of hit die that you can roll if you would like to regain some amount of your health.
Yes, I would like that.
That sounds like a great thing.
It looks like I can automatically do it on D&D Beyond.
We've had trouble with that before, so just tell me how many die you would like to expend.
Just one.
Great.
It's a D6.
Alrighty, then, and I think that it should also tell you what plus you get.
+2.
Great. So 1d6 plus 2 is how much you'll recover from this thorough night's sleep.
Well, it was a 1 plus 2, but that brings me up to 19 hit points, which is 1 less than my total of 20.
As you wake up the following morning, probably have a little bit of breakfast at the inn. Vola, the owner of the inn, will come by your table and go, a little something from her ladyship. And she'll set down a bag on the table containing 4 potions of healing. Yes. And a note saying, "Good luck. I'm counting on you." And then a very ornate, fancy signature underneath it.
What was that? What was that, Helena?
Nice writing she has.
She does.
Oh, it's beautiful penmanship.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Speaking of penmanship,
yeah.
Can I compare the penmanship of this note to the note that I found in the Baron's pocket?
100%.
Okay. What do I?
Very
like,
different.
roll?
No, I don't.
Okay,
you-
yeah.
They are so different that you don't even need a roll. If they were closer together, it might be worth doing an intelligence check for you to kind of be like, how does the G loops compare? Are they close enough? They are so different that you're just kind of like, you hold them up and are instantly like, nope, not the same person. Cool.
Just glad I don't have to be suspicious of her yet.
That with everyone.
Alrighty. Cool. I think then after that, there's a couple of places that you could go. You could go to the Citadel to see about if you can get the bounty for your bandit friend.
Yeah.
You could go to the magic store that Lady Atala suggested. You could go to the general store if you would like to pick up any general goods. If you would like to do anything else while still in the city, I can almost certainly produce it for you. Or you could say F it and leave right now towards Lady Atala's estate. What would you guys like to do?
How far is the Citadel from the city center? Like, how long would it take us to get there?
20 minutes, maybe.
20 minutes,
It's
okay,
on
so
the edge of the
it's
city,
close.
but it's a small city again.
Okay.
You should assume that even if you're doing a lot of things in the city, you can probably knock it out within 3 hours and still be able to reach the estate by mid-afternoon.
Okay. I mean, we could do that.
Yeah, let's check that out. And then that kind of feels like everything else will be about the quest. You know, we can get the supplies needed, but if we learn anything from the Citadel, that could be very cool.
Awesome.
Citadel.
All right, great. Well, in that case, I'm going to just hold on for 1 second, just because I am seeing that we are apparently getting some
laggy.
lag, and I want to sort of see if it is a general problem or some folks' problem.
Yeah. It sounds. I'm seeing a little fuzziness. Oh, now we're clearing up.
The wonders of new technology.
Yeah. Let's see. We could try. Try changing our latency settings, but this is not a thing that I actually know about.
I would be curious about perhaps if we stop streaming and then resume streaming.
Yeah,
if that
sometimes
might
that
perhaps help us out.
Off and on, yeah.
So let's try that 1 moment. All right, folks. We will be offline and then come right back online. Hang tight.